Hey everybody, welcome to Video Burrito. I'm Aaron
I'm Lucas.
and this is our first episode. So yeah, this is our first time I know podcasting, at least for me. What about you, Lucas? Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, no, this is like, well, actually, no, I did. Oh no, I dropped that class. I was about to say I took a podcast class. But I did record a podcast for a class in college. I totally forgot. It must have been. Oh, I think it was like an audio class, but it wasn't like for podcasts. Like making a podcast was just like one of the
Aspect.
projects that we had. Yeah, and it was like I don't even know what I ended up doing for it. It wasn't like just a conversation podcast. I like tried to like make some movie trivia game
Oh, nice.
podcast. Oh, I totally forgot about that.
That's super cool. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this is our first time ever trying to do a podcast like this where all we do is talk about one common interest we've had for literally a long time, and that's video making, filmmaking, what's cool in terms of tech when it comes to the video industry, and more importantly, maybe the industry here in San Antonio as well, because we're based in San Antonio, which is a really booming industry. A lot of really cool creative people are here, and it would be really cool to be part of that community. So that's why we're here. So
Yeah.
any other words, Lucas? You want to
Um,
introduce yourself? What's your background? What you've done?
all right. Yeah. So I'm Lucas. I already said that. And yeah, I've grown up in San Antonio like most of my life. Moved here when I was a little crumb snatcher. And yeah, I've really been into like filmmaking and shooting videos like since I can really remember. Like I grew up just loving to watch like um, 80s and 90s action sci-fi movies and like filming with my dad's old VHS camcorder was like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, it's kind of just stuck with me and really like influenced like how I want to work, like the type of work that I want to do. And yeah, I don't know
Well, obviously you
what
went to school for it. We see
what
your
else.
hat, right? I mean,
Yeah. Represent UNT.
yeah,
Call.
that's so cool. Yeah, and I mean, I feel the same way. Like, I grew up, like, my dad found videos on his old computer of me, like, recording him, like, narrating what he's doing, and then be like, oh, wait, my dad's coming. See you later. Like, just being behind the camera has always been so much fun, and making little skits. And maybe we should have an episode where we react to our old work, which would be super funny.
Oh man. Yeah,
Yeah.
and not even like old work like that we would put on YouTube or something, but like
No.
stuff that we shot like as cuz dude, whenever I first started editing things, that's when like it got weird because like I had like a little camcorder for the longest time and I would just like shoot whatever, but I didn't have a laptop or a computer or anything to edit on, so my editing was just starting and stopping, and like that was it. Like that was the only editing that would be in any of my videos. But then when I got my MacBook and I started editing in iMovie, shout out iMovie, and I just like applied like all those like filters and effects and like made my voice high pitched and just literally like everything that you could do in iMovie, I did it, even though I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, it gets wild. We should do that.
Yeah, I remember. I think my first editing software was Windows Movie Maker, and then once my mom got a laptop, it was over, dude. iMovie was like the gateway
Yeah.
to just cool effects, and I guess the most important one is the Ken Burns effect.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, and getting started was super fun. I mean, literally, it was a point and shoot camera, right? And
Yeah.
literally, I used that up until probably when I met Lucas, my freshman year of high school, and an actual video making, or it was audio video, which is video making.
Yeah.
And so me and Lucas have known each other for a while now. And
Yeah. Well,
so,
we met because we were both
oh
in
yeah,
band,
I
so
was
we
in band.
kind of knew each other from that. But I feel like we didn't really like start talking until we noticed that we were in the same class.
Yeah.
In the AV class, and then we like sat next to each other, and yeah, that's how that happened.
That's very true. I forget about band because I quit. But
well, yeah, what year did you quit? This is completely unrelated. But
yeah, I quit when me and Lucas were elected as section leaders, and then I dipped. But I was like, I got it, cool. See you later. But
yeah.
Yeah,
so that's when we met.
Yeah, we met then, and then so literally we saw all our like first, I think, like official projects, right? Like where we're like, this is gonna get graded and people are gonna see it, and like this is important because we need to do this well so we can pass our class.
So how much like stuff, like how familiar were you with like making videos before we did that class?
I had edited stuff for fun and like small videos here and there for I think people that were interested in like a small video, like maybe like a vacation video, so I would compile videos with their pictures together. But other than that was all done in iMovie, so I had some experience, but not a lot. How about you?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we were probably in the same boat. I mean, because I had nothing outside of iMovie, but I did like. I feel like the first 2 years that I had my laptop in middle school, there was just like this spike of like I have like so many videos from just like those first 2 years that I had it, but then like after that it just like completely dipped down. But yeah, so yeah, it was probably about the same.
Yeah, that's what life will do to you, dude. Yeah, so that was when we, I guess, really became friends, was when we established that, and then we had another year of that where it was advanced audio video. To be honest, that class was very hands off when it came to the teacher. You know, he'll just grade our project.
I was about to say, was it advanced?
Yeah, it wasn't really advanced. Like, what would happen is they're like, here's 5 projects, and you need to complete them throughout the year. You know, I don't care what order you complete them in, but just get them done. And it was funny because I would say like the class was full of rejects in a sense, you know, like people that didn't have, there was no jocks. There was like Lucas was the only one in band, you know, there was, you know, but people that were usually probably quieter in other classes, I'd say, right? They came to this class and we all kind of bonded in a way and made stuff together that was so much fun and like so quirky, and it was weird.
Like we made like a legit feature length movie.
Yeah. Yes, I forgot about that. We need to review that. That would be so funny.
Pie County.
Yep. Yeah.
Shout out Sim, Patrick, and Austin. That was all them.
Yep. Yeah, and it's cool. Those are some of our friends from back then, and it was really fun. Like, honestly, it was so cool to just be able to work on stuff for a class. You know, it wasn't even work, I'd say, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, that's where you would just go and then just, like, let all of your energy loose. Like, it didn't matter, like, what we did in that class. Like, the projects that we made were pretty much, like, just could be whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were good times.
Yeah, for sure. So how did that affect you, that class, I guess, in particular, to want to do what you do or kind of make a career in that? Like, did that inspire you more, or was it already kind of like, I'm going to do this for a job?
Yeah. I feel like by that, like, I feel like I went into that class, like, already being like, I want to make movies and stuff. Like, I want to be a filmmaker, like a Hollywood director. Like from pretty early on, I would say like my goal was to like get into like big blockbuster movies. Like from like the very beginning, like that's like what I want. So going into the class, like I was kind of already like at that mindset. So yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't really say, like, if that class influenced me that much. I mean, just because, I don't know, I feel like, I mean, I was able to do whatever I wanted, and, like, I feel like, I mean...
I think what I learned from that class...
How about you? Did it...
yeah, what I learned from the class, and I
What'd you
guess what I was
learn?
trying to getting at was
What'd you learn? What'd you learn, Austin? I just almost called you Austin.
dang. No, but
What'd
I
you learn,
guess
Aaron?
was that was my first time ever like working with people on a film, you know? Like how fun that can be, like the collaboration aspect of it, you know? But because
Right.
before then it was just me and my camera, right? And me acting as every single role. But
Mm-hmm.
when someone's like, "Oh, I'm a good editor," okay, you're a better editor than me, so let's team up on this. Or, "Oh, you're a good, graphic designer, cool." Like the team aspect of it was really cool for me at that point. Was like, this would be a really cool job. I mean, there's a sports team and everyone has their role, and you're trying to win a game. Well, in video,
Yeah.
you're trying to make a really good product, right? And everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and it was that's what I picked up from that class. Although it wasn't the most
See, I
informative
didn't
class,
get any
maybe.
of that.
Yeah, Lucas is a one-man show still, dude. But yeah, I guess
I,
that's what inspired me. Was like, I would like to do this more often.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, I'm glad it did something for you. Yeah, I do understand what you're saying though, because I feel like once I got into college and like some of the like higher level classes, like going into my junior and senior year,
Mm-hmm.
we had like short film projects that we did, and I feel like at that point I was like able to really appreciate like how cool it is to have other people that like our senior film project looks so good. It looks beautiful. Like we shot it like on a red camera, and but the thing is I didn't do any of that. I just wrote and directed it, and if it was up to me on how that was gonna look, like it would have not looked nearly as good. But we had like someone who just like knows cameras super well,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's something I guess
Anyways.
I didn't get to experience because I didn't go to school. Me and you went to school for different things. I'm going for communications still. Lucas went for radio, television, film, if I'm correct, right?
Well, yeah, it's called media arts now. It's the same thing.
Oh, fancy.
It's
So,
literally yeah.
yeah,
I
so
don't know why they changed. Well, anyways, what?
oh no, so I know when you graduated, that's when I guess I got into filmmaking hardcore, and that was after that class too, when I made my first film that actually got into a film festival, which was really cool, which is the San Antonio one, by the way.
Right.
And that if everything I learned in that class when it came to like how to use the program, um, it all culminated into that film, and then using people at the
Mm-hmm.
school to film it, which was really cool. And the fact that it got selected, that motivated me because like, what the heck, I'm in high school, and when I showed it to the film festival,
Yeah.
it was all college kids, and then they're like, tell us about you. I'm like, oh, I'm a junior at this school, and it was just so cool. That motivated me probably the most to step in the door and be like, I want to do this
Right.
more often, right? And I didn't go to film school. I don't know why I didn't. Maybe it was just too expensive, or I was like, communications is a more broader, you know, uh,
Right.
I guess area, and media is a part of
Mm-hmm.
that, video stuff. But
Yeah.
at that
And I mean,
time,
you don't really need to go to film school. Like,
yeah,
I get it just depends on the type of person you are, and like, but like at this point, like with everything that I mean, but then again, like, because people make the argument that you don't need to go to film school because you just have like all this information on the internet that you can
yeah.
learn, and like, which is
But
a
you need,
good point. But at the same time, I feel like film school like kind of helped motivate me, like to
yeah,
like learn specific things hands on that
yeah.
like
See, yeah, like the cameras you had access
um,
to, the gear you had access to, and I'm sure some of your professors are really, they're involved in the industry somehow, right? Like that stuff you would never learn from a YouTube video,
yeah.
Like all my stuff, I watch videos like, look at this 6K camera. I'm like, I would never use that, I don't have access to that. But obviously, you had access to really cool tech, and that's valuable information if you want to get into that industry, right? You're like, oh, I already have experience, with
Yeah.
4K raw footage and how to color grade and stuff like that. I don't know any of that, to be honest, but I think that's where you definitely, take the step up with film school, for sure.
Yeah. And just the collaboration, like
Yeah,
because everyone is there to learn film, and so like you kind of have to talk to these people.
yeah. See, and that's what I guess I missed out too. Like, since I go to school for communications, no one's like a filmmaker or has a be like, let's make something cool, and the people at the
Hmm.
school it's so far and few in between that you're not going to run into a lot of people to collaborate with like that for sure, so that's a definitely good resource.
Yeah.
But at that time, I guess
I'm
that
just really
motivated me.
distracted by this moth. Sorry.
We
What?
can't
Say
see
that
it, your
again?
virtual background.
Oh yeah, that's right. It keeps just like flying like right. Okay. Anyways.
Nice. Yeah, and then I guess
Continue.
at that time I started editing videos, I guess, a little more professionally in the sense of like actually getting some gigs to edit here and there. And then I just tried to find whatever I could to edit, and film. I just thought it was so much fun. So that's, I guess, the path I took. But yeah, so what do you do now, huh? What where are you standing now?
Dude, I don't even know what I do.
You work on a lot of cool projects. I'll say that. Your work's super dope.
Oh, thanks. That's really nice because I don't have no idea what I do half the time. Yeah, because what's interesting is I feel like like I said at the beginning, like when I first started, like filming stuff with that camcorder, my like only goal, like I had very narrow tunnel vision of like, of the idea of what I wanted to do, and it was like get to Hollywood, become a director, direct the next Jurassic Park. Like that's what it was.
Hey, they're expanding the
Um,
universe, dude. Who knows?
I know, right? Like,
Jurassic Planet.
but and to a degree, like I still have that enthusiasm about like working on big budget projects, like getting on set and just like because that's a lot of fun just being on set. And which I mean I've only been on one movie set before, and it was a pretty small movie, but just doing that like showed me like how much fun that is, and that's still something that like I would want to do. But at the same time I feel like now there's so many things you can do with video, like it's not just limited to making cool Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
And like and so I kind of like right now I'm just kind of trying to just do a bunch of stuff. I'm like just doing like contractor work right now for a production company that's here in San Antonio, and at the same time like I make wedding films. Currently like trying to like start making more of those. And just I don't know, like I like just being able to shoot and like create beautiful small little pieces of content to just like show people, like even just like filming like family events. That's always been something that I loved doing, since like way back at the beginning. I would just like film like vacations and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, it's gotten more broad, and it's also got me like a little less certain as to like where this will take me. But I think that's kind of what's cool about it, is like it could be anything.
Yeah.
And like you're really not limited to anything, especially now like with technology like advancing, and like you can literally just create a one man studio at your house.
Yep.
Like that is freaking insane that you can do that now.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know. I just like making stuff.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. Like, it's comforting to know that although you got in here, you're like, I want to make movies, but to see all the options there are when it comes to video editing, like real estate or sports or I don't know, even informational or government, all those different avenues. Like, there's niches in there that you can still show up to work and
Right.
be like, I'm doing what I thought I would do, as a kid, which is so cool. So I
Yeah.
totally agree. Um, and I totally
How about
forgot
you,
what we
Aaron?
asked. What did I ask? Oh,
What
what are we doing now?
what are you doing now? Talk to me. Does
So
that sound really bad?
no, I don't know. Is it peaking in audition? No, you're good.
Talk to me, Aaron. Oh yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
good.
speaking.
Um, what do we do now? So, I guess, yeah. Once I left school, I got a job that required like no video editing, and all it required was like public speaking, and I loved it. The people were cool, and it was another passion I love is like public speaking and teaching people. But I was like, this is not what I want to do, right? So I was like, I need to find something that's more related to what I want to do is just videos, media production. So one of the first steps I took was trying to get involved with the local San Antonio film scene, and so obviously people connected with like the San Antonio Film Festival, Facebook groups. Facebook is an amazing place if you're looking to get involved in like your local film scene or just video production. If you're looking to be an actor, producer, literally even a musician writing music for films, it's a really cool place. Like, there's so many opportunities with short films around your city that you probably don't even know about. So I made some connections here in San Antonio with some media companies and directors, and I got to show up on set to be like background acting every once in a while, and that was super motivating. And that was when I was like,
Nice.
I need to do stuff to get me there, to the guy behind the camera,
I need
right?
to be a background actor more.
Yeah, and it was cool because you could walk up to the director and ask him questions, and be like, so like, how did you do this? Like, how did you get here? What'd you study? And they would tell you, add you on Facebook and stuff like that. So once I did that, I was like, I need to get a job that's more related to filming, even if it's something I don't love. And that's when I got into like the government work, right? And doing like informational videos. I didn't like it. I mean, it was fun, and I provided a lot of, I guess, value to making it fun and intriguing, but it wasn't what I always wanted to do, right? So
Right.
that ended. And then I got to edit some stuff for some UFC fighters, which was really cool. Make a couple more short films, and then now I do stuff for Adobe, teaching people how to use the software, which is really fun.
stuff for use.
A UFC
Back
fighter?
up. Wait, sorry. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that was really cool. So UFC holds events here in San Antonio every once in a while, which is really fun. And so I got to highlight edit the vlog for Leon Edwards here in San Antonio, which was really fun. So they followed him
Nice. I don't
around.
know who that is.
Oh, he's a
I don't follow
middleweight.
UFC.
No, I'm trying not
Okay.
to follow it as much. I didn't want to do it as much, so I kind of left that. I was like, a little too violent. But I got to do stuff for UFC fighters, and then Bellator, which is like the other UFC, which is like, smaller. So that was really fun, and that was a really cool little notch on the resume. And
Yeah, that is cool.
yeah, and I was like, why can't I do this stuff more, right? So now, since I left that government position, and I'm not there anymore, it was actually because of COVID. Got life of creative, and I'm trying to just produce content on a more daily basis for myself. Just be like, make what I want to make, and be happy making it. So yeah, trying to find those niches is what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that's what I like a lot about what you're doing, like, because like I see you just like doing whatever you want and just like posting stuff on YouTube of you just like talking to camera, and you're just like, yeah, I just like thought of this thing and I'm just gonna talk about this, whatever.
some random thoughts, bro. I appreciate it. I don't know I haven't done one in a while, but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
need to get
'cause
back into it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like just the best part about it. Like making videos is just like is whenever you're able to just like do whatever you want because you love it.
Yeah.
And like that's when it gets like really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So
I totally agree.
super deep,
So,
inspirational. Hashtag.
so now that we're starting this podcast, right? And I don't know, maybe we'll do this every 2 weeks, maybe. That way we don't burn
Never
out.
again.
Never again, just one episode.
This is one and done.
So, what are your, I guess, I know we kind of talked about how we started and where we are now, but what do you want to do, let's say, in 5 years? Like, what's your goal to be in 5 years?
Oh, 5 years. I don't even know
Like,
what
is
I'm
it to
doing
be
next
more
year.
prominent in the San Antonio video film industry? Is it to work on a major production? I mean, it doesn't have to be anything specific, like totally vague, because we honestly do not know. But I don't know. Is there
Right,
anything?
yeah. I think one of the things that's probably more towards the top of my head is I mentioned earlier that like I started shooting a lot more wedding films, wedding videos. Um, and I don't know, I've like grown really attached to doing those for some because I feel like I love the combination of being able to like film something in sort of like a documentary style kind of thing where you just kind of show up to the event and like shoot these very real things that are happening, like, and things that are very important to like this family.
Mm-hmm.
And then like and then I love like the whole creative aspect of it, of like going into the edit and like piecing together that story and then like being able to give that to them. That's something that's like I've grown really attached to doing. So I kind of want to like try to keep leaning into that and possibly like go a little further and like be able to not just like shoot weddings but just like any like events or like little like short like documentary videos for families or small businesses or something that like that could use something like that, either just for their own personal like memory, like to be able to look back and watch it, or even like just to post on their social media like for other people to see. So one of the things that like I feel like would be really cool is to like get to the point where like I can make a good living, like being able to just like travel around and like shoot weddings and events and stuff for people. That might all change.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like maybe next year I'm like, never mind. But
I don't even
for
want to
now,
get
that's
married, bro.
something that's like.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good. Yeah, because I mean, you're already doing it, and honestly, I haven't shot anything like that in the sense of like something so intimate and like in a documentary style. But yeah, that would be cool. Like to be like, I want Lucas from San Antonio to come over here and shoot my wedding
Right.
in the Maldives. That would be sick. That would be so cool. Yeah, that is a really good goal. That is really cool. For me, I don't know. Honestly, right now, I'm just. I want to do more film festivals personally. Right now, I'm building up all my equipment, like one piece of gear at a time. And I know that's a trap, but I mean, to compete at higher levels, like for indie films, like short films, not like feature films, just short films, like to make like a solid short film. That would be my goal in 5 years. I don't know, to have the money to actually produce it. Would be my goal, but yeah, that's where I am, and that's probably going to change too, because we don't know how the world's going.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like at this point right now where I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like, I mean, I like what I'm doing right now, and as long as I'm like shooting and editing stuff,
Yeah,
I'll be okay.
nice. See, dude, you're gonna be the director of Boyhood 2. If you remember that, do you remember that meme?
Yeah.
Well, okay, fun fact
like, once I do that, then I'm done. Like,
it's over.
Like,
Literally.
that would be like, I'm done. I'm going to go work on a ranch somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
It was funny for all the viewers in our film class. Like, it was so quirky that was like not an inside joke, but people would walk up to you and be like, "Did you know Boyhood took 12 years to make?" You remember that? Like, Austin would come up to us and be like, but yeah.
Dude, I took that with me into college. Like, I was like doing that. No one knew what I was talking about at the beginning, but then I would like show them that Red Letter Media video that
yes.
like, we saw that like kind of basically made that joke.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. Yeah, but every time I think documentary now, I think about that joke in particular. But a documentary would be cool stuff to make. But yeah, honestly, I'm out of stuff.
Basically a documentary.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I think that's all for me. Anything you want to talk about?
Well, since you brought it up, Boyhood, let's talk about what is cinematic achievement. Whenever I say that though, I feel like I'm saying that it's like complete garbage, which like I shouldn't say that 'cause it's really not.
No, we watched tons of garbage movies before. I even recommended one in class, but we should talk about that in another podcast. Our trash taste in movies.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be funny. But yeah, I mean, that's it for me. I mean, anything else you want to hit?
How do we end this?
I think we say, and then just hard cut right there.
Oh, you said, is there anything else I want to hit?
Yeah. The desk? Yeah, that works. It's just a hard cut right there.
I'm so sorry for all our listeners. My mom, Aaron's mom. That's it.
The San Antonio film community.
Thank you, Mom, for watching. Oh, my mom stopped watching.
All right. But yeah, well, thank you, and hopefully we'll be back with another episode. I think we will.
We will be back.
We will.
And we're going to talk about
whatever there is. There's a lot actually in terms of cameras. There's stuff in terms of really bad films being released because no one's making films right now. So the number one films in America are absolute garbage. There's tons of information.
Pandemic movie that's coming out.
Exactly.
The Michael Bay.
Yep.
Pandemic movie. You know what I'm talking about, right?
So what happens is, I don't know if you've seen the trailers, but the coronaviruses are actually shaped like Transformers, and they enter your body and they fight your immune system. And but yeah, you're gonna have little explosions in your body of dying cells. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode, and I guess we'll see you next time.